life fast. It's like walking barefoot over broken glass. It's like jumping rope on a razor blade. All lightning quick, decisions are made. Lifestyle plush, female rush. This high-profile personality who earns his pay illegally.
What? What? Oh, you're watching? Gee. Hi, this is Kevin Deal from Upscale Audio. I didn't mean to have you watching my own bad rapping self. I got to do something to pay the bills around here. Today, we're going to talk about having fun stuff, and we are going to talk about Manley's Absolute Headphone Amp. Ta-da! This is a Manley microphone. I absconded with it. It belongs to one of my employees who happens to be a recording engineer. Many of you have dealt with her. She's absolutely amazing, and she says that these microphones are amazing. Listen to what I'm going to tell you. When you buy music, in many circumstances, many times, when you're buying your favorite piece of music, somewhere Manley equipment is in the recording chain. Whether it's their microphones, it's their compressors, it's their this, it's their that. So when it comes, if they're able to have engineering chops to make components that create music, making things like a headphone amp is pretty elementary. And engineering is what I'm down with, man. I like engineering and I like parts. And there is so much to talk about here, and we're going to start. Now, I got a little confused last time I did this because there's so many things to cover, so I'm going to just start at the front. All right, this is the volume control. What makes it so cool? It's a laddered resistor network. So instead of some bogus chip, when you go up and down with the volume control, you're going to hear little clicks inside. Those are clicks of goodness because it is relays opening and closing and switching between resistors to go up and down. A resistor, just a resistor and out. It is the most expensive way to make stuff. It could have been done very easily. They could have gotten rid of all the relays and all those resistors and just done this with a little chip, just like these big high-priced brands do. But they didn't do it. They did it the right way. This is the only amplifier I know of that allows you to listen to headphones in push-pull or single-ended. Most tube amps today are push-pull. Sometimes you'll hear about single-ended amps or bridge single-ended amps. I'm not the biggest fan in the world of them when it comes to playing loudspeakers because single-ended amps are going to have kind of a high output impedance and they don't control, well, how should I put it? You don't know exactly what you're going to get when you're playing a 4-ohm speaker. So depending on the impedance curve of the speaker, things can kind of go wonky, and sometimes it'll be good for you and sometimes it won't. But with headphones, it makes absolute sense because headphones typically have a higher impedance. So a single-ended amp, or bridge single-ended amp in this case, is a great way to go. Not only is it push-pull and single-ended, you have the ability right here to change the amount of negative feedback up to 10 dB. Now look, I know what you're thinking. I don't want to have any feedback. I like to do no feedback. But when you get this, and when you learn a little bit more about it, you'll find out that a smidge of feedback can give you a nicer bass pop. It can just give you a greater sense of clarity and control. And with some headphones, that might be important to you, or just some types of music. But the thing is, you can adjust it to your own personal taste. How badass is that? What else does it have? It has, right here, 3 different taps off the transformer. So you've got a low setting for headphones. I think it's 15 to 50 ohms, and then you have a medium setting, which is 50 to 200 ohms, and then a high setting for headphones, 200 ohms on up. How cool is that? So no matter what headphones you get, it's going to sound right. They did it the right way. And why are they able to do that? Because Manley is one of the only companies in the world that winds their own output transformers. Output transformers are how speakers, and headphones are speakers, that's how speakers in a tube amp get their handshake. And they are critically important. Power is not important. It's about bandwidth. And when a company like Manley, they make all their output transformers in-house. They have the engineering to do it. I'm going to tell you something. Output transformers are not just science. They are science and art. And that's what I've always loved about all the Manley stuff, is they have bandwidth and they've got pop. And this headphone amp is no exception. It also has an EQ setting. What does that do? It switches the tone controls in. So you have separate bass and treble controls, or you can bypass them. It's got a mono switch on it. That's super, super cool. Now, it also has 2 separate inputs, so you got 2 line inputs in. And then for output, Jesus Christ, you can do all kinds of stuff. So let me go through it with you. You got a 1/4 inch 3-conductor plug for all your standard hamburger headphones, right here on the back. Then you have a 4-conductor XLR jack. So for all your more esoteric headphones, or more esoteric headphones are oftentimes going to have an XLR connector. You also have RCA outputs, because you can run the RCA out of this in 2 different ways. Number 1, you can use this as a tube preamp. Yes, it's true. So you can run 2 source components into this, have the RCA preamp jacks going out to your power amp, and you are rocking and rolling. But what if you say to yourself, I have a bitchin' CD player, or I have a bitchin' DAC. Let's say you've got a really high quality streamer. And I want to plug it into this, but God damn it, I want to plug it into my integrated amp too. What am I supposed to do about that? They thought about everything with this. It has a bypass mode. So plug your streamer into the input, push the button on the back, hold it for 2 seconds, and it's going to turn the power amp section off on this. And it's going to pass the signal through directly to your preamp or your integrated amp. How cool is that? You know what else they did? Let's say you got a pair of super expensive headphones, and you got a dorky 15-year-old kid who likes to listen to the kind of rap music that I sing, and you're concerned that he or she might damage your expensive headphones. You have a control on the back where you are able to adjust the maximum amount of power going to the headphones. How cool is that? What else is cool? Let's say you've got this headphone amp off to the side. Let's say I'm sitting here in my chair, you're smoking a J, having a glass of wine, whatever it is you're doing, headphone amp's over here, and you go, oh dude, I'm in the zone. I want to raise the volume, or I want to turn it down a bit, and I cannot get out of this chair. Your beanbag chair. You don't have to, because this is an RF remote control. Goes through walls. I'm not going to guarantee what walls it will go through, because no doubt I'm going to end up in court over making this statement with somebody that watches this. But it will. This is a radio frequency remote. It does not have to be seeing an infrared eye or anything. Boom, I can operate the volume control right from the remote. Super, super cool. Now, this is an important thing. We've been doing a lot of tweaking. I got to tell you something, man. This thing sounds amazing. And we have found that it comes with 12AX7s for the front end. You can also use 12AU7s or 12AT7s. And depending on the headphones that you have and how sensitive they are, you can kind of dial this thing in and have some fun stuff with it. That's why you should buy this from Upscale Audio. I have dedicated headphone experts, and you know who I'm talking about here. I hired somebody that is a contributor to some of the top forums in the world about headphones, and we opened up a headphone experience center here, and we are the tube experts. You know that's what we do. That's why you buy this from a place that does tubes. You can change these 2 tubes here from 12AX7s to 5751s to drop the gain, but you can also go to 12AU7s and 12AT7s. Depending on the impedance of your headphones, the gain is going to go down. But you want to do it the right way, and we will help you with that. That's what I'm trying to say. This isn't like buying stuff from Bubba's House of Hi-Fi where nobody gives a shit about you. We will go through and make sure that it is as good as it can be. This is an amazing product. But you know what? Manley is an amazing company. It's made in the United States. I went to the factory when they were prototyping these, and And they are the real deal. And they really care, and they make great stuff. Listen, we care too. Trade in that old crap that you have. Get rid of it. We'll take it. We'll get rid of it. We guarantee the best price. By the way, this is going up in price about $500 from the introductory price. So the introductory price is about 60 days. Once that's done, it's done. It ain't coming back no mo. And we have 12-month no interest financing. We guarantee the best price. You can do it right through our website, but we like you to call because we want to get you the hookup. We want to get to know you and what your needs are. I promise you. So come to our beautiful 10,000 square foot store. The other thing is I'm hiring great people here. And if you are badass, technically adept, we're looking for you. And we pay well. No one's on commission. We don't want any of that jive here. We want to have fun. Thanks for shopping Upscale Audio.